Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. So I was in scripture today reading, and I don't know, it jumped out at me. And you know how it does that sometimes. Sometimes you're reading the Bible and maybe you've read that passage 1,000 times and it'll jump out at you, different than others. And that's how this did. And it made me think that, you know, all this get your house in order stuff, that maybe this is kind of what I'm talking about. I don't know. It's in Micah chapter 7, verses 1 through 7. It says, "How sad for me, for I am like one who, when the summer fruit has been gathered, after gleaning of the grape harvest, finds no grape cluster to eat, no early fig which I crave. Faithful people have vanished from the land. There is no one upright among the people. All of them wait in ambush to shed blood. They hunt each other with a net. Both hands are good at accomplishing evil. The official and the judge demand a bribe. When the powerful man communicates his evil desire, they plot it together. The best of them is like a briar. The most upright is worse than a hedge of thorns. The day of your watchman, the day of your punishment is coming. At this time, their panic is here. Do not rely on a friend. Do not trust in a close companion. Seal your mouth from the woman who lies in your arms. Surely a son considers his father a fool. A daughter opposes her mother, and a daughter-in-law is against her mother-in-law. The man's enemies are the men of his own household. But I will look to Yahweh. I will wait for Elohim for my salvation. My Elohim will hear me." I kind of feel like that's where we're at. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I kind of feel like that's kind of where we're at. That everything, for the most part, and I know that you could make exceptions to that rule. You could say, well, there's this or there's that, but generally speaking, the world that we live in, the nation that we live under, the government, the society, the people around us, are more and more giving themselves over to evil. And even those that claim to be good, much like Scripture just said, aren't much different than a thorn or the briars, meaning that they're not real. It's not what you think it is. And I'm not here to pass judgment. I'm not here to say that myself or someone else is better than others. I'm just here to tell you that we live in that fallen, broken world. And it's getting ugly out there. And I see people all the time, well, I trust this person. Well, I trust this is going to get done. Well, I have faith that this is going to happen. And that this person, this man is going to do the right thing. The Bible tells us not to put our faith and our trust in man. And a lot of people are doing that. The Bible tells us to put our faith in God and to see the difference, that we need to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear what is going on, that we need to pray for discernment, because there's a lot of deception out there. And it's tough. It's tough because many times the deception looks so good. I mean, it's exactly what we want. Yeah, we want that legislation to happen. We want this bad thing to be stopped. We want that. Yes, that's good. Is it? I mean, Satan's not coming at you looking like some monstrosity, grotesque looking monster. He's going to come at you in a nice fine suit, handsome, good speaking, debonair kind of chap. He's going to suck you in that way. And that's how the world's doing. Looks good. It's convenient. It's fun. It's peaceful. It's prosperous. We're going to make lots of money and live a good life. But is it the right one? I don't know. I'm not sitting here claiming I have the answers. I'm just telling you, I don't know, what's on my mind. And it's hard for me to get excited about something that may appear to be good that's happening. To say, well, the current administration's done things that I don't like, but this one thing is really good, and so we got to cheer that on. It's hard to do that for me because to me it just seems like it's almost a deception, you know. Yes, you'll be disgusted at all these other things that we do, but these things right here are really good, and you should support us and cheer us on. It's not how God works. He doesn't throw at you a bunch of really bad, awful, evil things and then a few good things and say, well, just focus on the good stuff I did. Don't pay attention to all those evil things I did. It's not how it works. It's not what Jesus did. When Yeshua came here, he didn't, do all these evil things and then a bunch of good things and say, well, sometimes we got to do the bad things to get the good things to happen. So it's a compromise. He didn't do that. The world could be ending at any moment. It may not end for millennia. And honestly, I don't know that even matters. To me, what matters is that we as individuals and our families and as many people as we can gather around us, that we're ready for whatever happens. In that same, I could go on. Let me see if I can turn to it real quickly. Probably won't be able to find it. Yeah, here we go. Later on in that chapter, where is it? Kind of talks about something that I say all the time, or at least similar. Here it is, down into verse 14. I didn't read that far, but down to verse 14, it says, shepherd your people with your staff, the flock that is your possession. They live alone in a woodland surrounded by pasture. Let them graze in Bashan and Gilead as in ancient times. I will perform miracles for them as in the days of your exodus from the land of Egypt. Nations will see and be ashamed of all their power. They will put their hands over their mouths and their ears will become deaf. They will lick the dust like a stake, and they will come trembling out of their hiding places like reptiles slithering on the ground. They will tremble in your presence of the Lord your God. They will stand in awe of you. But shepherding your people, that's getting your houses in order. And I've talked to you about that, about circling the wagons, getting things, not just you, not just your family. I mean, that's a top priority, but the people around you that you can influence and that you can, maybe it's your neighbors, your neighborhood, your little community, town, your mag, whatever it is. Shepherd your people and get them ready. Not just for the economic collapse, not just for World War III or a nuclear war or, riots in the streets or any of that kind of stuff. Get them ready for this stuff. Get them ready for the evilness that is taking over. Get them ready spiritually. It is your duty. That is what we must do. Because, as I've said so many times before, all of this stuff that we're seeing happening, these signs, the things that happen, and you're like, hey, that's biblical. Hey, that's like fulfilling this biblical promise and stuff. Those are symptoms of the bigger thing that's happening. The bigger thing that's happening is very spiritual. It's building to a final battle. That may be a long way off, and it could be tomorrow. But we are told to be ready. We are told to have our lamps filled with oil, to be ready to endure to the end, to be ready. And that is what I'm really pushing you to do. Yes, you should have your stockpiles of food, and you should have your skills, and live probably out and away from all these cities of ill repute. I mean, definitely all those things. But you need to be readying yourselves for a greater battle that we are facing. Because that one's coming sooner than you think. And it's going to play out very different than what you think. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.